Hi, my name is Valeria, and I'm a big buddy at Achieve Miami. Today I will be reading The Tortoise's Gift by Lari. This book has an AR reading level of 3.5, and I love this book because it shows this new perception of kindness and doing things out of the genuine will to do something, not because you want recognition for it, but just something that you truly want to do to just help your friends out. And I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I have, so let's start. Chapter 1, The Wonderful Tree. One hot, dry summer in Zambia, the rain stopped falling. Soon, the river stopped flowing, and the grass stopped growing. Soon, the animals were very thirsty and very hungry. The old rabbit had heard stories about a wonderful tree in the middle of the forest. He told the other animals, when the rain stops falling, this wonderful tree grows every animal's favorite fruit. So no animal is ever hungry or ever thirsty. The animals searched the middle of the forest and found a strange tree. It was not a palm tree, or a baobab tree, or a banana tree. The animals did not know what kind of tree it was. So they thought it must be the wonderful tree. But it looked old and tired and thirsty, just like all the other trees in the forest. It looked like it would not wake up and grow anything until the rain came back. There isn't any fruit on it, said the elephant. Maybe we have to tell it what our favorite fruit is, said the chimps. So they all shouted loudly, "Give me bananas! I want grapes! Give me mangoes! I want pineapple!" But the tree did not grow any fruit. The lion said, "Maybe there's a magic word." "I know what the magic word is," squeaked a baby monkey. "My mommy says the magic word is please." So they all shouted, "Bananas, please! Mangoes, please!" But the tree did not grow any fruit. "Maybe it doesn't know we're talking to it," said the monkey's mom. "Maybe it thinks we're asking the banana trees for bananas and the mango trees for mangoes." "So let's call it by its name," suggested the chimps. "Good idea," said the elephant. "What is its name?" Chapter 2. What is the tree's name? No one knew the tree's name. No one had needed the tree for a long, long time. So now no one could remember its name. Who is old enough to remember the tree's name? Wondered the animals. What about the mountain? Said the chimps. They all looked up and saw the mountain beyond the forest. It was pointing up to the sky. The mountain has been here longer than the grass or the trees. The mountain will know. They all agreed. But the mountain was on the other side of the grasslands. It was far away, and the animals were all tired and thirsty and hungry. Who will go and ask the mountain? They all asked. The lion stepped forward. He said, "I will go. I am the bravest, and I will go. But I want the first pick of the fruit when I bring back the name." The other animals agreed that was fair. So the lion crossed the grasslands in his quiet, creeping way. He reached the foot of the huge, rocky mountain and looked up. "Mountain, can you please tell me the name of the wonderful tree in the forest?" he asked. The mountain rumbled. "Owangalema." The lion bowed. He said, "Thank you," and he started back across the grasslands. The lion was very pleased with himself. What a famous hero he would be. He would bring back the name of the tree. Then he would wake up the tree and feed all the animals. He reached the big red rock halfway across the grasslands. He was so pleased with himself that he decided to stop for a nice, big roar. He stood in the shadow of the rock, roaring his loudest, and he roared the name right out of his head. The lion went slowly back to the other animals. They were waiting in a hungry circle around the tree. The animals asked, "So, what is the name?" Did the mountain tell you? What is the tree's name? The lion was so embarrassed. Very quietly, he said, I forgot. Chapter 3. Who will go next? The animals wondered who else could go to the mountain? Who else could bring back the name all the way back? The elephant stepped forward. He said, I will go. I am the biggest, so I will go. The other animals thought that was a very good idea. The elephant had a very big head, with lots of space to remember the name. They agreed that if the elephant brought the name back, he could have the first pick of the fruit. So the elephant crossed the grasslands in his loud, stomping way. He reached the foot of the huge, rocky mountain and looked up. Mountain, please tell me the name of the wonderful tree in the middle of the forest, he asked. The mountain rumbled. Owangalema. The elephant raised his trunk in salute. He said, thank you, and he started back across the grasslands. The elephant was very pleased with himself. What a famous hero he would be! He would bring back the name of the tree. He would wake up the tree and feed all the animals. He reached the big red rock halfway across the grasslands. He was so pleased with himself that he decided to stop for a nice, long scratch. He rubbed his wrinkly hide up against the rock and he scratched the name right out of his head. The elephant went slowly back to the other animals. They were waiting in a hungry circle around the tree. The animals asked, so, what's the name? Did the mountain tell you? Can you remember the tree's name? The elephant was embarrassed. Very quietly he said, I forgot. Chapter 4. The Playful Chimps. The animals wondered who else could go to the mountain. Who else could get the name and remember it and bring it all the way back? The chimps jumped up and down. They said, we will go. We are the cleverest, so we will go. The other animals thought that was a very good idea. After all, the chimps were very clever. They used tools and they chattered all the time. They were so clever that they would certainly remember the name of the tree. The other animals agreed that if the chimps brought the name back, they could have the first pick of the fruit. So the chimps crossed the grasslands in their bouncy, chattering way. They reached the foot of the huge, rocky mountain and looked up. Mountain, can you please tell us the name of the wonderful tree in the middle of the forest? They asked. The mountain rumbled. Owangalema. The chimps clapped their hands. They said, thank you, and they started back across the grasslands. The chimps were very pleased with themselves. What famous heroes they will be. They would bring back the name of the tree. Then they would wake up the tree and feed all the animals. They reached the big red rock halfway across the grasslands. They were so pleased with themselves that they decided to stop and have some fun. They jumped off the rock and they tickled each other and they tickled the name right out of their heads. The chimps went slowly back to the forest. The other animals were waiting in a hungry circle around the tree. The animals asked, so, what's the name? Did you listen carefully? What is the tree's name? The chimps were embarrassed. Very quietly they said, we forgot. Chapter 5. Slow and Steady. The animals stood hungry and thirsty around the wonderful tree. It still had not fed them. They wondered who could bring back the name now. A little voice said, I will go. The animals looked up and they looked around, but they could not see who had spoken. The voice said again, I will go. So the animals looked down. It was the tortoise. You can't go, said the animals. You're too small, and you are far too slow. You won't get the name, and even if you do, you'll never bring it back. But the tortoise said, "I will go." And he did. He crossed the grasslands in his slow, steady way, one step at a time. Finally, he reached the foot of the mountain and looked up. "Excuse me, mountain, can you please tell me the name of the wonderful tree in the middle of the forest?" he asked. The mountain rumbled, "Owangalema." The tortoise said, "Owangalema. Is that right?" The mountain smiled and nodded. So the tortoise thanked the mountain and started back across the grasslands. He went slowly and steadily, one step at a time. As he stepped, he chanted, "Awangalema." The tortoise did not feel pleased with himself. The tortoise did not hope he would be famous. He just said, "Awangalema." The tortoise did not stop at the big red rock. He did not roar or scratch or tickle. He just kept going, slowly and steadily, one clawed foot at a time, saying, "Awangalema." The tortoise finally reached the hungry circle of animals around the tree. He looked up at the tree and said, "Awangalema, will you please wake up and feed us all?" The tree shivered, and its branches creaked. Its tiny leaves grew wide and green. Its little hard buds blossomed into big, bright flowers. As the animals watched, the petals fell. The bunches of the flowers swelled and grew into all their favorite fruit: bananas, grapes, mangoes, and pineapples. Once the fruit had ripened for a moment in the sun, it fell gently onto the ground. Every animal in the circle waited politely for the tortoise to step forward. Slowly, steadily, one clawed foot at a time, the tortoise walked toward his favorite fruit. He opened his mouth wide and took the first bite. It was the most delicious, the most refreshing, the juiciest red grape he had ever eaten. The tortoise ate the whole bunch, slowly and steadily, one grape at a time. The end. Well, thank you so much, guys, for reading with me. I really hope you enjoyed The Tortoise's Gift as much as I do. It's one of my favorite books. And for the next challenge, I want Clara and Tom to be the next Achieve Miami Big Buddy readers. I can't wait to hear your guys' stories. And please, thank you so much for being here and watching this. And I really hope that you guys are doing well, and remember to keep reading. Bye.